All right, top of the top, bottom of the bottom. We gonna flip it. All right. Uh Happy MACM Saturday. We here for another training. You know what I mean? The thing is, we pushing these trainings, and I don't want y'all to think that we just pushing them and it's not gonna be beneficial for everybody. Because the thing is, if you're looking at facilitating, if you're looking at hosting an event, if you're looking at birthday parties, gatherings, any kind of situations where you're getting people together, this is a tool that will help make and run your event just that much more smoother. All right. So today we tapped into another MACM facilitator training. All right, and it's the MACM Law number 5. All right. So if y'all been keeping up, y'all know we done ran through the first 4, you know what I mean, in expected MACM fashion. All right. So the fifth law is the small things matter. The fifth law is the small things matter. What do I mean by the small things matter? All right, let me just pose that question real fast. What do I mean when I say small things matter? Small stuff, small things, however you want to call it. All right, it matters. All right, so I'm gonna just say, starting off, arrive early. I'm a stickler. I'm very tough when it comes to being on time and being punctual. That's just one of my things, especially nowadays when COVID made it so that you just have to pull out your phone and hit the button on your phone and you up in the space that you're in. Arrive early, at least 30 minutes early, just so that you can make sure when it comes to setting up, everything is going to go smoothly. You can do that. Arriving early eliminates logistical problems just right in the beginning. You know what I mean? And that's when we're paying attention to all the small fine details. All right, you don't want to be that facilitator who has everyone waiting half an hour because someone has a cord or has to buy a Mac connector cord that you forgot as the facilitator. All right, you don't want to, even in a space, you know, if we're starting at 3 o'clock, I'll give a 3 minute cushion just to give folks a little time to do what they need to do before they come in. But at 3:03, I'm going. 3 o'clock, usually I'm taking off too, but I'm gonna give folks a little bit of time just to move in how they move in. All right. You want to make sure also that the room is appropriate for the facilitation that you got going on. If you need chairs that do not have wheels, you want to make sure that you have those chairs. If you have 100 people in a room, you want to make sure that everyone has the appropriate chairs that's going to run smoothly. You know, if you're using an off-site meeting room, it should be located near the public transit or parking that is easy to find. It gets distracting when people have to get up frequently just to fill their meter. You know what I mean? Or they have to just make sure everything is good with their parking or whatnot. Meetings should always meetings, yeah, I'm gonna say it. Meetings should always take place in a room that is governed by you. All right, I'm gonna say that much. Meaning, you don't want to host a workshop at a cafe or a restaurant where other people who are not going to be in your meeting potentially are going to be navigating that space. That's not a good choice when it comes to meeting spaces. Again, looking at the chairs, are they nailed to the floor? Are they similar to the classroom format? Do you need the chairs to do you want to be able to move the chairs out of the way? You know what I mean? Do you want to circle them up? You want to make sure that you're paying attention to all the little small details that you're walking into. If you're doing an event for 100 people, again, that's my number right there. If you're doing an event or a workshop for 100 people, and if the room is small, fit and made for 100 people, you want to see if there's air conditioning in the space. I've been in spaces where there is no air conditioning. And let me tell y'all, when you have these babies up in there, especially in the schools and stuff like that with no AC. Ooh, it gets funky. Hey, I'm just saying it gets funky. All right. And I don't mean it in a good way. It gets funky. It starts smelling like hot Cheetos and Funyuns and corn chips all in one. You know what I mean? But at the same time, too, you're looking at the engagement level to everybody that's in that event. They won't notice the aura that's filling a room until they walk out and then come back in. They be like, "Whoa, what is that?" But I once organized an event, where there's 100 folks, and I found out at the last minute that the AC don't work on the weekends. They don't turn the AC on the weekends, and it costs $2,000 to have it turned on just for that day. So AC wasn't in the question. Wasn't that was not factored in. So we did that workshop again, burning up. I'm up there sweating. You can see the sweat starting to accumulate right around the ring of my shirt and everything underneath my arms, all that. But it was activated. All right. If you were doing a PowerPoint, you want to make sure that you save your PowerPoint. You want to make sure that you save it in 3 formats. All right. If you're working off a PC, if you're working off a Mac, and if you're working just to have it as a PDF. All right. You can order and or confirm all AV equipment that you need for that workshop before it gets started. Make sure that you're looking at laptops. Bring extra extension cords. Bring extra connector cords just so that you're on top of everything. They say if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. All right. You can bring a USB stick, just any type of documentation. You can even print them out. All right. Just so that you're ready. You want to make sure that in that space you have markers, a dry erase board, or flip charts if you need them. You know what I mean? If they're available at your disposal. So the key thing too, like I said in the beginning, one thing to make sure that you get all of these logistical things out of the way and taken care of is by coming early, at least 30 minutes. If you've been in a space before, then you should know what to expect from the space that you're going to be working in. And that's the key thing as well too. Just getting familiar with the space that you're going to be working in. That's I can't emphasize that enough. You want to make sure that you do a walkthrough. You have enough time to know what spaces, know where the room holds the least amount of volume. You want to check the acoustics in the room. You want to make sure that even the thing is, I like to relate it to what folks do too. Like basketball players, they usually walk the court, bounce the ball on the court just to get the feel of where the soft spots is and stuff like that on the court before the game starts. They think they just doing warm-ups for the warm-ups. Nah, they getting the feel of the court. They seeing where to bounce the ball, where it's gonna deflate more than in other spaces. So again, coming back to this facilitator thing, and if you're hosting workshops in unfamiliar spaces, again, you want to make sure that you get familiar with these spaces that you're in, just so that everything that you do with this facilitation is ran smoothly. All right. And again, this is something that is not just going to benefit those who are working as a facilitator. If you're hosting an event, workshops, birthday parties, anything's at the club, stuff like that, these are all tools that you can use to make sure that everything is going to run smoothly and effectively. All right. And it's that simple. So make sure y'all stay tapped in, you know what I mean? Because we're working through our MACM laws to effective facilitating. All right. And just these laws and just these 10-minute videos will get you where you need to be in order to do something effectively. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it right there. If every MACM member was just like me, what would this world be? Peace.